Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 vs 1 on Meeting of Minds. Playing on my side as the Witch Hunters, we've got Softwine. And on the left side as the Emperor's Children, we've got Mella. Mella will be opening up a squad of Pleasure Cultists and a Possessed Conduit, where Softwine is going to go for a couple of melee combat squads, a Sentinel Powerlifter, and a Corvette Military. So we are Witch Hunters versus the Emperor's Children. Both factions have got so many options for them to be going about their business. Emperor's Children, they've got Marines, they've got Demons, they've got blooming Commanders out the wazoo, everything you could possibly want or need for a well-fleshed out roster. And the Witch Hunters have got a very similar kind of thing going on. They've got men, they've got women, they've got dogs, they've got tanks, and again, of course, they've also got lots of champions to bring to the table. Now also, you might have been noticing on the channel recently, I've been experimenting with the sound quality and trying to make things work. I'm doing this crazy new tactic called pointing the microphone towards my mouth, so I hope that the microphone quality in this game will be at least acceptable. Maybe it might be a little bit boomy. I might have to do some editing and other behind-the-scenes stuff for that. But fingers crossed, our turbulent time of bad sound quality will be over now. I'm going to see some Seraphins from Softwine, which is actually quite a decent idea, as the Emperor's Children do require their Pleasure Cultist ladies to gain some extra green money. If you're not familiar, the Warp Turbine, as opposed to giving you 10 green money, only give you 6. But then every Pleasure Cultist you have on the table is able to give you a little bit more. So you kind of have to wombo combo your buildings and your ladies to get the correct amount of power being generated. And Seraphins, well, they can fly on over and hunt those girls down. Quite difficult to take these ladies out in close combat because we've got such a powerful knockback with their attacks. And, oh, right, okay, you're just going to kick them. I mean, fair enough, why not? Kick them while they're down, kick them on the knees. Probably enjoy it anyway. We've got a Pleasure Slave crawling on over hands and knees, which is just the way I like it. And the Celestial Lord's going to join them, just to make sure that they stay in good stead. Thankfully, the Seraphins have got their jumping juice, so able to get out of the way and do some decapping. Always good to make sure that the Emperor's Children are struggling with their economies in the early game, because Tier 1 for them isn't exactly amazing. It's Tier 2s and 3s when they really start to pop off. Actually, Seraphins don't do a bad bit of damage in close combat, which is why we're seeing them engaging in a bit of kicking. Witch Hunter Seraphins scale much better into the late game, as they are able to get their twin Inferno pistols, Flamer pistols, and all that good stuff. Although maybe a little bit more micro needs to be on these girls. Don't want to be punching the Pleasure Palace at any point. Oh, a bit of alliteration there for you. The worst form of writing, but we'll take it at the moment. Pleasure Slave over here is going to be a bit shafted on his own. Can get extra lads inside them just to make sure they're a bit more robust, but does not seem like Mella is going to go for that. So a good little bit of harassment going on here. Also, second squad of Seraphins being brought up from the Corvette. Is it Corvette? Convent? I want to say Convent, but that's not what the words say. So there. And some more decapping. But look at that, they're not back on those Pleasure Cultists. That's why they're so hard to take on in close combat. Do barely any damage, and they're, you know, paper thin armor, but you just can't really beat them down when you're on your backside. Constantly switching around the targets, making sure that they're getting as many harassment bits done as humanly possible. Pleasure Slave once again will go down. If we're able to get him, there we go. The Noise Marines opening fire. Some powerful noises. Letting the kids know that even though Christmas is over, Mariah Carey is still a thing. Blasting that in their ears. Never a pleasant time. Celestial Lord taking down a couple of Seraphins as he goes about his stuff. Stabbing it straight in the middle a couple of times just for good measure. And some more Noise Marines will come out. These guys don't do terrible in close combat neither, but they are massively outnumbered by the sheer weight of the Seraphins. I'm trying to get a surround on the Celestial Lord, but he doesn't mind that whatsoever. Close combat is his bag. He can duel with other commanders. He can take on hordes of infantry in close combat. He's also got quite a powerful bolt pistol as well. Pleasure Cultists over here. Again, I'm still not sure as to why the close combat's happening with these Seraphins, especially coming towards those Pleasure Cultists, but such is the way, that's what's happening. We've seen another slave, and they are just constantly bashing these poor boys down. Thankfully managing just in the middle to get an extra squad member. And another one will come out as well. At the moment, they are managing to finish up a couple of things, but they have not quite captured this strategic point. The Surfins, I think, are now overstaying their welcome here. Not cheap to reinforce at 60 blue and 5 green. And they are being reinforced quite something. Especially Lord taking out another lady. And another one is just... His hunger for battle and blood is just insatiable. Oh, I thought that woman was about to get up then. You're not a Necron. You're not supposed to be able to get back up once you're dead. Breaking the rules, Surfins. That's probably heresy in some way, shape or form. But how is this harassment doing? So you've got 92 and 10 for your economy compared to... Yeah, your harassment has done nothing. Even though they're one strategic point down, they are... The Emperor's Children doing mighty fine for their economy. Not ready to go into Tier 2, though. They do need to get their research building before they're able to get to that. So that's something. And their power generation is quite low. Like I said, they've only got one warp turbine. But plenty of women to build up that power generation. Tier 2 listing post about to be finished. Just further advancing their power advantage. Yeah, the Surfins, it was a mighty fine idea. But they just couldn't quite keep those Emperor's Children down. And then end up just sacrificing their own economic output by just reinforcing those expensive ladies too much. Now, the question on my lips is... Right, so you're not in Tier 2 as... Oh, no, you are in Tier 2. You have finished... Or about to finish your Reliquary of Faith. Now, with every time we see the Emperor's Children on the channel, we do know for a fact that at some point they're going to go for some Warp Talons, which are incredibly good against basically every target, but they don't have any range capacity, so I always like to see some aircraft on the go. Whether Softwine is going to go for some aircraft, that's another thing entirely, but it's the hard counter towards Warp Turbines, and the Witch Hunters specifically do have a remarkable roster of... well, when I say roster, they've got one. It's called a Nephilim jet fighter, able to bring down machine guns for infantry, missile launchers, and all that good stuff. So, good against everything. Always a good idea to go for them. But that being said, the Emperor's Children also have got their Hell Talons to fly in the air. And they also have... Oh, it's something else. It's a something interceptor, which is really good against other aircraft and such. But Tier 2 is on the way for Mella. It's going to go for some more Noise Marines as well, just chilling out in the centre at the moment. He knows that he can't push in too far. We do have a Sororitas vehicle facility. Oh, potential! Go on, go for some aircraft. Do us all a favour. Just to make sure that those Warp Talons aren't going to be the mainstay of the Emperor's Children unit composition. We're going to capture the centre. We do not have any critical location countdown victories on the go, so that won't be an issue for this game. But still, an extra 6 blue money. Also some more vision. Can never go amiss. I've seen the bottom one also being captured. Another one is in the control of the Witch Hunters. Also going to see a Thermo plasma generator for Softwine being built over on the northern slag deposit. A small contingency. Oh, we've got dogs. We've got lots of dogs. And Surfins as well. Chasing away the pleasure cultists as the dogs munch on the fire armor, which, as we know, does not do very well in any circumstance. One dog going up against a whole bunch of Noise Marines. And dogs with their sensitive hearing should be at risk here, but they're doing all right. Surfin's also activating some sort of shielding Madoodad, keeping them alive and well. But the Emperor's Children, universally across all their infantry, has got this... Well, not all the infantry. Some of their commanders don't have this ability. But they're able to activate their combat stimulants, which, much like the Fighting Juice for Orcs, makes them unable to go below 1 health point when it's active, allowing them to stay in the fight a little bit longer. Oh no, that one dog getting thrown to a side. Another one going in for a good old charge. One dog against the world. He can do it. The powers of Slaanesh does not work on dogs. At least I hope it doesn't. It's going to be... In my headcanon is dogs are immune to Slaanesh. And the wicked and foul taint that the Dark Prince brings to the table. All dogs are dead. That's sad. And the Emperor's Children still have a centre. There we are. Look at that. A mighty flying vehicle. And I assume then you are... Yes, the Warp Talons. The Warp Talons will be up shit's creek without a paddle against this boy. Replacement dogs. And the Surfins are going to get a decap on the critical location in the centre. All these lads are going to fall back. Now, the Noise Marines do have an ability where they can temporarily become anti-vehicle units by toggling a little ability down. But it's a short-lived ability. And there we go, that's what it is. It's like a little long blast of sound. Something piercing. Like steel panther or something, just right down the middle. But the Noise Marines being kept on their toes by the Cyber Mastiffs. And one good thing about the jet fighter is, unlike other vehicles that might struggle to drive backwards to get away from those anti-vehicle weaponries, they can just fly backwards. There's no pathing that they have to worry about. You just fall back, wait for the ability to go back on cooldown, and then come back in for another pass. Might even be worth to get a couple of these. There we go, another Nephilim jet fighter on the way, and a squad of Celestians out and about. Gonna go for some bionics equipment research. And the Warp Talons are throwing down a face down. Now these guys, I assume, will now be exclusively on either building bashing job, which, to be fair, since the patch, their building bashing potential has been reduced by 50%, question mark. Could be wrong. Been a while since I read the patch notes. But they'll do a mighty fine job at cutting their way through Seraphins and Celestians alike. Just gotta make sure. There we go, there's another jet fighter striding on in, and actually going to focus on the Noise Marines here. Using the heavy cover are the Seraphins to ensure the longevity. Celestians keeping on the move, and just a constant quadruple of dogs just to make sure that the Noise Marines aren't being so noisy, but a play for the air superiority, a Sonic Hell talent, which 1 versus 2, he'll do a damn fine job against one of them. Looks like he's also seeming to pour forth his malice, his pink malice, towards one of the jet fighters, but we'll try and fall back a little bit. Just stay alive. And at the moment, the Witch Hunters have been pushed back all the way to their base, but they've got plenty of opportunity to get more stuff out. They are going to go for vehicle cap increase and just more jet fighters. Current economy is 134 and 51, with plenty of blue money for the Emperor's Children, compared to 116 and 70. 70, that's a huge amount of green money incoming. So definitely the play to make here would be for the Witch Hunters to go for a more vehicle-heavy composition. And that's why it seems that they're going for just a mass of aircraft. Always a good show. Also going to upgrade their fortified positions. Yeah, fair plasma generator as well for the Witch Hunters. Also have a trifecta, or a quadfecta of flamers, which is an unusual thing for a thermo plasma generator to gain. So the Pleasure Cultists might be coming over to do the same on their own slag deposit. Now we've got triple fighters coming in, focusing on the Pleasure Cultists. We'll fall back away from that Sonic Hell talent. They're outnumbered at the moment, are the Witch Hunters, so they're going to be very careful with how they take this engagement here, especially since the heavy cover is in favour of the Emperor's Children. They can pull them slightly towards their Arbites Purst for the plasma guns on them as well. Should be quite a easy fight for them if they're really careful with their micro. Warp Talons overextending themselves, but they are activating their can't die juice. And they're just going to stand there, intimidating, just staring at them with malice before them dying. Not sure why they're doing that, but never underestimate the intimidation factor. One squad will teleport away. In fact, both squads managing to teleport away, but losing a fair few of their number. Are, much like the Seraphins, quite expensive to replace. But I mean, the Emperor's Children have got a significant amount of money, so that's fine. Do have a Assault Rhino, which has access to a Combi Flamer, Plasma Gun, and a Melter Gun in Tier 3, so always good to have a couple of these tanks if you're going to be putting pressure on the base, as the Assault Rhino can just add a little bit of extra damage towards vehicles and buildings. Vice Purse going to be upgraded with a bunker position add-on. Might be a good... there we go. Sentinel Powerlifter will come down to repair it. Seraphins with their twin Inferno pistols. Attempted to break down the Colossal Turbine. Don't quite have the DPS necessary to bring that down as quick as they would like. At the moment, the Emperor's Children got a powerful fighting force. They know that all the Witch Hunters are down here. They could now start poking and prodding on this side, and that's what they're going to do. Double Sonic Hell Talons breaking down the Thermo Plasma generator. Flamers can't point upwards. They do have a power lifter. Tempted to get the repairs in, but that's far too much DPS coming in for him to be able to repair solo. And here come the pleasure slaves. Once again on all fours. Like a child walking up the stairs. Or sometimes adults, depending on if you want to go gorilla mode or not. Which I do occasionally. Just to remind myself that I'm not as old as I think I am. But generator goes down. Thankfully, the Nephilim jet fighters were able to come over and prevent the Emperor's Children going for a second thermoplasma generator. And there we are. What else is coming out? We are going to see some Celestians research Holy Hatred. Just do more damage, I imagine. And I must say that the models for the Celestians, for the Witch Hunters, are absolutely stunning. Look at that gold. I've had to reduce the graphical fidelity because the Emperor's Children are in the game. And the game just really struggles to work with them because they've got so many different things to bother the game's RAM or something. People can explain it much better than I can. I can't because I'm not very smart. Celestial Sorcerer and a tier 3. Now, tier 3 is where things get really interesting for the Emperor's Children. So that allows them to diverge towards the more marine side of things, the more demony side of things, or the I think it's called Glaw, which is just basically like the more human-y kind of side of things. So 3 different paths that they can take. And I assume against the Witch Hunters you probably don't want to go demons. And maybe marines. That would be my guessing. The human side of things, when you're kind of, you know, falling behind things, marines just a good all-rounder. Colossal generator is down. Surfinstar are being blasted into the corner, jumping away as best they can. And the Slaneshi Sorcerer able to detect infiltrated units and do the usual sorcerer nonsense of bringing down big booms and such. And now we have the Xiphon interceptors. Las cannons, boomy bits for ground troops. We've got a little bit of everything. And I think that they do outclass the Nephilim jet fighters. Suppose we'll see if they engage in close combat, or range combat even. No close combat in the air. Unless your Soulstorm Scarabs. The Warp Talons being finished off by the dogs. Wonderful sight to see. We've got some more over here, so it's just one squad wipe. One singular Seraphim, or 2 singular Seraphins managing to survive that engagement in the heavy cover. And such a small amount of ladies pushing on forward. But they are very high tier, very elite units. We do also have a Exis Prioris, which is, you're slightly different from a regular Exis, aren't you? You just fire the 1 missile. We'll find out when combat is renewed. That's a cool little dude at the back though, isn't it? Little man. He's bobbing his head to the music. Got a fun way you can. Here comes the Nephilim jet fighters on the right hand side, on top hand side even. Another day, another cast where the words don't come out right. But the listening post has gone down. A nice little counter assault there. But it does highlight the thermoplasma generator to Mella. A little bit of flame to try and keep it safe, but that won't help it. Yeah, you do just fire 1 missile, so you're just basically like a whirlwind from the Space Marines. It's not as fun as the Sisters of Battle Exorcist. Losing their listening post. Oh, right. No, you occasionally do fire out loads of missiles. Just not all the time. Alright, okay. Jet fighters flying over. Got the Sonic Predator. Lots of noise coming out of it. Celestians attempting to decap the point in the centre. Interceptor goes down. And although it appears that the Emperor's Children have got the massive advantage in just sheer raw numbers, the Witch Hunters are really causing them some issues. Retributors opening fire to the Warp Talons will activate their combat stimulants, stay alive. Nephilim jet fighters have only got 2 of their fighters in the air at the moment. The Exorcist really doing a lot of damage gradually over time. Last of the interceptors will try and escape. Only one more jet fighter now in the air. Rhino transport goes down. The Noise Marines brought down to a singular model with a Slashy Sorcerer joining them. And also the Slashy Terminator Lord attempting to retreat from all this firepower, but no. How? How did this happen? Well, I assume just faith. Faith in women, that's all you need. Take on the Emperor's children. That being said, though, what are you going to go for? You've got the Eterna Cohort coming, Cohort, something like that, coming in. And she is basically like a... It's like a hybrid close combat lord mixed with a caster. Very fragile, but could do a lot of damage with her spells and such. It's just keeping her alive is the main problem. Also able to summon demons in as well, just because, you know, the way the Emperor's Children works is everything is in excess. Everything does everything. Here comes another Warp Talon band, which I assume these guys are going to die more or less straight away. They'll do their best. Tie up the Retribute squad. Huge explosion as the... Well, you are possessed squads. More Seraphins coming in for twin Inferno pistols. Music's been played. And everyone's having a grand old time. Doing less damage and such. Castigator, a powerful tank from the Witch Hunters. Plenty of fire. Also got a powerful multi-melter gun on its turret. Great for breaking morale, although the Slaneshi, or the servants of Slanesh, at the moment, in the form of a possessed squad, don't have any morale to really bother. We now have got the Almonis. Oh, you're just basically a posh tech priest with a powerful lady stance. Look at that. Hands on hips. She's a woman who can do it all. Imagining one of those sassy, finger-clicking, aha, sister kind of actions going on there as an idle animation. If it's not an idle animation, then, you know, Unification, that's what we need to do. Next patch, sassier witch hunters. That's what we want. Oh, where these ladies aren't going to go anywhere. We've got the Retributors with their Sacred Bearer, Banner Bearer. A Grand Mount of Hedonism and the Phoenix Guard Terminator squads are on their way out. And there's the Interna Cohort. Basically, anime princess with powerful thighs, another sassy stance for the women. And what are you? Alright, the Emperor's Children are bringing like a bombard ability down from the Pleasure Palace. But the animation just seems to be stuck there. There we go. Fixing it. Gonna get a decap on the relic, and that's very important actually. The Emperor's Children are approaching that dangerous time where they could potentially get some powerful relic units out. If you're able to deny them that, they'll do you a great service. Artillery is in there, slashing down people as they come about. We now have got the Phoenix Guard Terminators, which just basically soups up Noise Marines, really. Warp Talons in and about the formations. Exis Prioris getting a little bit close for comfort, I would reckon. You could probably keep her back a little bit. More Warp Talons and more Warp Talons. Just keep those guys are coming out. But it doesn't seem that the Emperor's Children have got the numbers that they really want. Phoenix Guard Terminator has been kept back behind the Sonic Predator. Huge explosion from the artillery. That's the one problem with going Marine-centric for your Emperor's Children. Is that, yeah, okay, your infantry is really strong, but they're not high in numbers. They can get focused down a little bit easier than your demons and your human side of things. Although, one thing that you could be doing is maybe building up another just conduit or just building up some more machines. I mean, what's your economy at the moment? You've got money, man! Spend, spend, spend. I mean, build up another possessed conduit and just get out double the amount of infantry that you could possibly want or need. It's all about excess, baby. And if you're not spending your money on something, then just waste the economy. There we go, Anime Girl, she's down. Like I say, if you leave your fires exposed, you're in for a bad time. Expose your fires, you're probably going to die. There we go, it's a rhyme now. That means it's correct. Exis Prioris there being focused down by the Woktalon band. These will turn their attention to him there. But another squad comes on down as well. Well, where's my camera going? A powerful set of firepower coming down. Quadruple multi-melters. And it seems that the Emperor's Children have decided not to spend their money at all. They've got a squad of pleasure cultists in the base, just enjoying the moment. And more pleasure slaves on the way out. And it's just Woktalons. There's more. You can go for more. You're allowed to build more and buy more. Another Sonic Predator. A Dark Knowledge Palace about to go down, which will give the Witch Hunters another squad of a hodgepodge of whoever was inside there at the time. The escapees getting some revenge on the Emperor's Children. Possessed Conduit is dead. And a Celestial Lord Terminator will be coming out. Now, can they pull it back? They've got the resources available. Here comes the Predator. Warped on the last of their kind. To be really careful of this engagement. Who would you focus in this dying time? Probably the Retributors. The Retributors are killing that Sonic Predator remarkably quickly. And Mella says G. Good, very good game. Lots of Gs, all the Gs in the world. Yeah, Mella started off really, really well there. I mean, he captured the centre. He's held that remarkably good. He was able to use his harassment to take down that thermal plasma generator and do all the other bits and bobs elsewhere. But I think a lot of Emperor's Children players, especially when they're not too well focused on the faction, if they're not familiar with them too much, I mean, you just get basically stun-locked by all the choice. You know, if you've got basically a million different units to buy, what do you buy? And that's in my thinking, that's what I assume Mella was struggling with there, was the sheer amount of options to go for. And with the Witch Hunters also having the same issue, I mean, if they've got quite a well-rounded unit composition on the battlefield, how do you counter it if you're not too familiar with all the different and myriad options that you can go for? But there we go, so cheers boys for sending that game into the Discord, and if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week, and the results Discord when Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. Mine's been Mr. Landshark, pleasure's always never short. Now, see you in a bit. Peace.